when will Spielberg ever slow down? His new film is adapted from the 2011 novel by Ernest Cline, who was one of the co-writers of the screenplay. It's set in Columbus, Ohio in the year 2045, where Wade Watts, Ty Sheridan, lives like many others in a rickety high-rise slum after the world has succumbed to overpopulation, pollution, corruption, you name it. The popular escape is a virtual reality world called the Oasis, where you can go anywhere, be anyone, and everyone has an avatar of their own design. Wade's being the DeLorean racing Parzival. This addictive simulation was created by James Halliday, Mark Rylance, but he's died, leaving behind his virtual world and his fortune to the person who can find their way to the Easter egg embedded somewhere in the Oasis. Parzival's friend in this virtual world is H, Lena Waithe, a mechanical whiz, and his rival in the game is Artemis, Olivia Cook. But his nemesis is Nolan Sorrento, Ben Mendelsohn, the CEO of rival gaming company IOI, who wants the egg for himself so he can dominate the world.
Who is this Parzival, and how the hell is he winning?
Find him.
This isn't just a game. I'm talking about actual life and death stuff.
The Oasis, the world's most important economic resource.
It's nothing less than a war for control of the future.
The film is virtually a virtual computer game in which we, the audience, inhabit both worlds believably. It's been quite cleverly done with whiz-bang visual effects and nice performances. So good seeing Ben Mendelsohn having such a splendid international career, and he's terrific. There are countless references to pop culture, particularly film culture from the last 40 years, but mostly from the 1980s. And there's a sequence where they enter the world of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining. That's a lot of fun. The film concentrates mainly on the game rather than the characters, with a romance with the feisty heroine thrown in. I imagine Ready Player One will appeal to the 13 to 30 plus age group. I had quite a good time with it, but I wasn't sorry it was over, Graham.
No, nor was I. I felt a little overwhelmed by it. I'm not really at people of my age, Margaret, possibly of yours too. I'm not so much into gaming culture. The whole gaming thing was pretty overwhelming for the first 30-odd, 40 minutes. It reminded me a bit of seeing the most recent Mad Max. The noise, was almost deafening. I was already looking at my watch thinking, how much longer has this got to go? With the car crashes, and the whole Oasis experience was completely overwhelming until, as you suggest, the Shining sequence, which was absolutely brilliant.
Wasn't it funny, though?
Absolutely funny and clever. And well, a lot of the film is funny, but the references, as you suggest, are pretty overwhelming. And for those of us who aren't completely into 80s culture or didn't grow up in the 80s, who were already grown up in the 80s, a lot of it kind of missed me, I must say.
But don't you feel that, in a way, this is sort of like a metaphor for the contemporary world where, everybody's leading such miserable lives, supposedly, that they can escape into these worlds, and they exist now for people, where they can be anyone. Do anything they want.
Well, that's right. I mean, you've just got to walk down the street and everyone's looking at phones or looking at devices. Yeah. They're not aware, not part of the actual world around them. I think it captures that very well. Plus, the whole notion of artificial intelligence and the way that that's going to increasingly dominate the world that we live in. Very, very clever. Many, many ideas. And there are so many ideas. I marvel, I must say, after I got over my, growing sense of epilepsy with the movie, that just how clever Spielberg is as a director to actually be able to mastermind, to auteur, as it were, this entire conglomeration of images and ideas and sounds and filmic effects and references. I mean, it's extraordinarily clever.
I think he had a lot of help.
I think he had a lot of help too.
Look, I would give this 3.5 stars. I thought it was fun.
So I think it's a strong 3.5 for me too.
Like many of you, I only came here to escape. But I found something much bigger than just myself. Are you willing to fight?
Help us save the Oasis.